Здравейте отново и на тези, които така се присъединиха малко по-късно. Казвам се Антония Миланова и съм консултант на фирма ЕДЛАНТА. Днес ще съм техническата поддръжка на вебинара. Така да дам малко повече информация преди да започнем с същинската част. Целият вебинар ще бъде записан, така че ще можете и на по-късен етап отново да го видите, да го изгледате, ако така искате да си припомните информацията. Също така, по време на презентацията може да задавате въпроси в чата или съответно след презентацията да си ги зададете самостоятелно, ако имате желание. Но ако се притеснявате, че ще ги забравите, най-добре ги напишете в чата, ние ще ги зададем след като приключим. Сега давам думата на моята колега Яна Йовчева, така отговорника за Япония в фирма ЕДЛАНТА. Яна, заповядай.
Здравейте на всички и добре дошли на втория от нашата серия семинари, посветени на Япония. Днес ще представим Японски университет, който предлага програми изцяло на английски. Яманаши Гакуин University се казва университета. Колежа International College for Liberal Arts е мястото, където се предлагат тези програми. Всъщност в рамките на една Liberal Arts програма имате възможност да изберете една от 6 специалности. Сега ще превключа на английски, за да ни разбират и нашите гости. Okay, so I'm switching to English. A warm welcome to our guests from iCLA, Daniel Giuse, Senior International Marketing Manager, and Даниел Симеонов, the Bulgarian student at iCLA, who is here with us to share his experiences. Здравей, Даниел.
Hello, hello. And I think maybe... Hello.
Daniel?
Wait.
There he is.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay, we can see you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Okay, so since you're Bulgarian, I hope you will be able to answer questions in Bulgarian as well if some of our guests are having problems with English. So now I turn the floor to you, Daniel. Daniel, guys, you're welcome to start your presentation.
Okay, let me get into it then. So I hope you can now see my screen. So thank you everyone for taking the time to be with us. My name is Daniel Giuse, and yes, I represent the International College of Liberal Arts. We have majors in global business and economics, and Daniel is a major in that, so he'll be able to tell you all about it later on. And political science, interdisciplinary art, and Japan studies. And this year, very excited to be launching 2 new majors, one from April and one from September. They are psychology and interdisciplinary data science. And I'll tell you more about those as we go. So yeah, let's get into it. And Daniel, do you want to introduce yourself as well to the audience?
Hello, I'm Daniel Simiոնов. I'm from Bulgaria, and I'm a 4th year now, so that will be my last semester, the upcoming one. And unfortunately, I need to I will not be able to work with Daniel and with Rob, which is gonna be very sad. But hopefully, we stay in contact. And yeah, I'm gonna be today's Bulgarian student that can answer every question that you have, or just talk you guys through my experience in Japan and in International College of Liberal Arts, and I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So let's get into it. So yeah, first, why Japan? Japan is a increasingly popular destination for students looking to study internationally. And we can mute everyone. But there's some good reasons why. But a lot of people don't know that they can study in English in Japan. And you can certainly do that at iCLA. All of our classes are taught in English, and there's some Japanese classes you can take to study Japanese. But yeah, there's some good reasons why you should consider Japan. One, everything is very highly regulated in Japan, and the education system is no exception. So all universities, including Yamanashi Gakuin University, of which iCLA is a department, are accredited by the Ministry of Education here in Japan. So you are getting a degree that is recognized all over the world. So you can use it for employment, for higher education, whatever you wish to do after graduating. And Japan is a very affordable place to study and also to live. Japan, quite famously, has had problems with inflation for many, many years. Japan has struggled to have an inflation rate above 2% or even 3% for the past 30 years. Japan does not have a housing crisis like many other countries do around the world, like where I'm from in Australia, the UK, the US, etc. So the cost of living is very low compared to other countries. I'm from Australia. It's a very expensive place to live. I think Japan is a paradise in terms of living costs by comparison. Also, since the start of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the yen has taken a hammering. It has gone down against many currencies around the world, and that has contributed to Japan being even more affordable for higher education. Another reason for that is that Japanese students and international students pay the same fees. So it's not like studying in the US or the UK, Canada, Australia, etc., where as an international student, you would pay 2, 3, 4 times more than what a local student would be paying. So yeah, it's a very affordable place to study. It's a very safe place to study. Crimes against foreigners, almost unheard of. The crime rate in general is very, very low here. There are not widespread issues with drugs or just random violence. It's a very safe place. Yes, we have earthquakes and typhoons. We even had a little earthquake this morning. Did you feel that one, Daniel?
When was it? Actually, I did not feel it. I was kind of like in Shikoku.
Well, you came back quickly. Okay, good.
Yeah.
About 9:30 this morning, we had a little earthquake, but in many buildings you barely feel it. I thought you were going to say you slept through it.
No,
I've slept through a lot of earthquakes when I was in Japan for sure.
And I know
like
I
last week I felt like a little one. When I was like here, but I did not feel like today's because I was not here. Yeah.
But yeah, we have very high building standards here, and obviously food safety as well. So yeah, overall, you're very safe here. And these two reasons go together, but Japan is internationalizing rapidly, and this is leading to more and more employment opportunities for foreign graduates of Japanese universities. So there is sort of overall overarching problem that Japan has. Its population is aging and shrinking rapidly. So, companies are increasingly looking to employ graduates that have, Japanese ability, understand Japanese culture, and, have a motivation to work here long term. So, but, overall, it's an amazing place to live. And that is one of the best reasons to be here. Daniel, why did you decide to study in Japan? What led you to making that decision, and how have you found it so far?
Well, I remember like first when I decided to like study in Japan, I think it was back in like 11th grade. I switched before I wanted to like become a doctor in Germany because I went to like a German high school. I was studying intensively like German, and I was like, yeah, medicine in Japan. But like I don't know, like I've had such a huge passion like throughout my childhood about Japan, and it started all from like the anime, of course, around like 6th grade. So after the anime, after that, I think that it would be fair to say that I grew a lot more interest, like about the language as well. And you can kind of grasp from like anime, like the culture, the language, and then I started like reading books. I started like reading articles, like news about Japan, like videos about Japan, and it's just like increasingly became a huge like fanatical kind of interest, I would say. And yeah, like after that, 11th grade, I just had the switch in me. I'm like, okay, let's go to Japan. I'm gonna be devoted to like start studying in Japan, where I found Atlanta as well. I was not working with Yana at that time. I was working with Emil. Emil, I think that you know
Mhm.
him, Daniel. Yeah, I worked with Advanta, and I was like the first guy cooperating with Advanta, like for this for iCLA. And again, I got accepted, I got enrolled, and so far I think I find it very amazing. I was just on a trip in Shikoku, one of the four main islands, and like on a road trip, and I find it just like such an amazing place. Just like so many unexplored
Mhm.
opportunities as well as places. It is so beautiful. It's quiet. I like well, it's not quiet in the big cities, but like it here in Iceland, it's very like peaceful, I would say. It's like kind of close to the big city, like the biggest city in the world, like Tokyo, but but it's still peaceful. Still, you can go to the extreme if you want to. And I
Mm.
think I just like like nowadays, like this week, I think is the sakura blooming, the cherry blossoms,
Mm.
and it is very very beautiful. I think that yeah, it's a very good place to live. It's a very good place to live if you just work hard for it, and yeah, I think that safe as well, which I really
Mhm.
love.
Very well put. Yeah, so it is a place, as Daniel was saying, it's a place that you can find a lot of sort of unexplored spots, or go and experience the culture in a deep way. The history, but also the sort of the modern nightlife, and you've got access to the big cities like Tokyo and Osaka and Nagoya. Which places did you go in Shikoku, Daniel?
I went to first before going to Shikoku.
Mm.
Um, like I was in Kurashiki. Do you know Kurashiki? Like
Oh,
in
yeah.
Okayama Prefecture.
Oh, okay,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
and then I went down to Shikoku, and
yeah.
I went to this beautiful valley, like Iatani, like Ia Valley. Um, I went into like onsens, which is hot springs in English, and I went to Matsuyama as well, and
Ah,
to the village of like the Scarecrow village.
ah,
It was very. Have you heard of it?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I was there. Like there were 10 times more like scarecrows than people. Like
Yeah.
there were 25 people living in this village, but 300 like scarecrows. It was amazing. It was like so, and only by one person that was just like lonely, and she decided to like just
Yeah.
start making scarecrows. And
Yeah.
the paradox is like the tourists now go kind of like to see
Yeah.
this village, so it's kind of like this loneliness. She creates like scarecrows, but as well humans come. It's
Yeah.
very like it's a very like interesting thing. But yeah, definitely
Yeah.
liked it. Very good nature, beautiful, clear. Yeah, I liked it very much.
Some friends of mine went there last year, and I really want to check it out because it's
You should.
really cool.
You
Yeah.
definitely should. You definitely should. And the thing is, like, I was so surprised. Everything, like, in terms of infrastructure, it was perfect. Like, the roads were perfect. Even though
Mm,
I'm in, like in the middle of nowhere, only
yeah.
one lane that like you like it's like one lane for both like sides, like both
Mm.
ways. And it was like on the right side, there's like a cliff, like just so you can just drop, but like still a good road like with every on every corner there's like a mirror to see.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, yeah, that's like, and I just like felt like, okay, that's Japan.
Yeah, it's a land of contrasts, isn't it? Like, it absolutely is. And then, finally, of course, a really big thing is, the food here. And, there's nothing like Japanese food in Japan. And, and even like we've got regional specialties, one prefecture to the next has its own, special food. So you should come and try out hoto as well in Yamanashi. So, all right, well, let's get into it. Liberal arts, we are a liberal arts college. We are a department of Yamanashi Gakuin University, but a lot of people don't know what liberal arts is, what we mean by that. I like to describe it as a philosophy or a style of teaching rather than the content being different. Liberal arts colleges really try to emphasize taking courses from a variety of different fields. So you've got broader access to different electives. You're less on rails than at a more technically, so perhaps focused 4-year university. Rather, we take an interdisciplinary approach. You might be studying business, for example, as Daniel is, but you've got access to electives from all of the other majors, from areas like programming, math classes. You can take a really wide variety of social or artistic electives as well. And this is designed to give you a broader and more stronger base to your education. We're really trying to teach you sort of how to think, to make you a lifelong learner, and to make you realize that there are connections between politics and economics that can't be divorced from each other. These things impact technology, human psychology, and art and culture, and these cycles repeat throughout history. So based on that, you are really developing sort of employability, and especially at a place like iCLA, which is very, very multicultural. You're not just learning about Japan. You're learning about the cultures and beliefs of people from over 50 different nationalities. So you're learning how to communicate cross-culturally. You're learning to think empathetically, and these things are very valued by employers. And being in sort of smaller class sizes as well, it kind of mirrors working in teams, much like the modern workforce. So concretely, what makes it different? One, you are not applying to a major straight away. So it's not like you're in high school, you don't exactly know what you want to do, but you pick a major and then you get there and it's not what you thought it is. We don't do that. We have you do a common curriculum in your first year, where your choice, you will pick 3 out of 5 or 6 from September pathway units for the majors that we offer. You'll take some Japanese, you'll take some English, world history, and some maths, depending on your level. And it's actually at the end of your first year that you declare your major. So, you might be interested in one area going in, but from being exposed to other majors, from being, talking to the professors and your upperclassmen, women, you can get maybe change your mind about what major you want to do, and that's no problem. The class sizes are smaller. On average, they're 15 to 25 students here. So this is not the kind of university where, you're in the macroeconomics 101 class in the dark with 400 other students in your first year, maybe falling asleep. Rather, it's very interactive, encouraged to go deep, and it is the kind of place where you will be on a first name basis with your professors, which is very rare, I think. You get a very broad choice of electives. As I said, you are not on rails. You're not going to be struggling to graduate if you deviate beyond your major and your minor. You get a lot of freedom. So yeah, let's talk about us and where we are. We are in a city called Kofu, which is the capital of Yamanashi Prefecture. Yamanashi is right next to Tokyo, and we are about 90 minutes by rail from Kofu to the center of Tokyo. We're about 2 hours by bus. And we're very close to Mount Fuji as well. You can actually see Mount Fuji over my shoulder there. We're about sort of 40 minutes drive to the sort of 5 lakes of Fuji area and the foot of Mount Fuji. So have you climbed it yet, Daniel? Or you've been here?
Mount Fuji?
Yeah.
Yeah, I climbed it the real way. I mean, like the religious way, from the bottom. Because most people are too lazy to well, not too lazy, but from fifth station is like the most most like the main route, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
from fifth station with like
Hmm.
to the fifth station is like with the bus, and then after that is like from 2,200 meters to like 3,700. It's
Yep.
still hard though. Like it's still that's the hardest part, I would say. But
Yeah.
I did it where like from the shrine, like
from the shrine
yeah,
at the bottom.
from the shrine, yeah, from the
Wow.
bottom, even like before first station.
Yeah,
It was like 20 hours of climbing. It was the hardest thing ever in my whole life. I was like with 10 kilograms of backpack, like 2 liters of water on my back, like so many like calorie full with like snacks full with calories, but not like so volume, like not like such a like a big volume. It was such a nightmare. But like I was with the headlight as well. I was with the headlight during the night. It was and the thing is, it was the most freezing thing, but at the end, it was all worth it, guys. I'm telling you, it was all worth it after you climb such like a huge mountain. Like you just get to see like I personally went with another Bulgarian actually, and who is a student here as well, and we climbed it together. And on top, it was around 3:30 in the morning. So we waited like about 2 hours for the sunrise. And this thing is just I cannot describe it into words. Like it's like the one of the most beautiful things that I've seen. And you can see like the sun rising.
Yeah,
It's
beautiful,
just
isn't it?
it's very worth it.
Everybody should do it. They have a saying in Japan
Absolutely.
that, everyone should do it once, but if you do it twice, you're crazy. And
I think I'm crazy. I'm a crazy guy, so I think I'm gonna do it for the second time. Yeah, like this summer.
my knees are still upset with me from coming back down, so I'm not going to. But yeah, you don't need to be. I said people aren't lazy though. Maybe not as crazy as you for doing.
Yeah, I'm a crazy guy.
6 hours to the middle and then another 6 hours up and then all the way back down. Yeah, it's
I started from the shrine at 1 p.m. and I was on top like 3:30
in the
a.m.
morning.
It was
Yeah.
on like in the morning. So that's like 15 hours, like something
15
like that.
hours, yeah.
And like straight climbing without because there's a lot of stations, right? And on each station you can, let's say there's like little kind of like mountain hut, a little mountain hut where you can sleep. But we were like with the Bulgarian, too much money, and we're gonna like do it on one go. And yeah, now I can like tell, I can be proud of myself. I can tell I climbed it from the shrine. So yeah. But it's a very worth experience. It's very beautiful,
Absolutely.
and just seeing Mount Fuji and being on Mount Fuji is one of the best feelings. I still, after 2 years living here, I see Mount Fuji on like a daily basis, and I'm like, wow, that's a mesmerizing view. That's like something godly. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, and you get you go, I can't believe I climbed that. Every time I can't believe I climbed that.
Absolutely, you feel like you're on top of the world.
Daniel, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I think that your mic shut off or something.
You're muted now. Can you unmute yourself?
How is that? Am I back?
Yeah, no, it's
better.
okay.
Yes, thank you.
I think my computer is increasingly unhappy with me. So yeah, about 85% of the people that climb Mount Fuji leave from the Yamanashi side. So, and as you said, we get very beautiful views of Mount Fuji all throughout the year. It's a really nice place for outdoor activity, you know, like sort of hiking, climbing, obviously, you know, fishing, camping, paragliding, you name it. There's a historic sort of downtown in Kofu. We have a castle there, or the remnants of the castle, lots of cool cherry blossoms about to pop off. The city itself of Kofu is about 200,000 people, with the surrounding areas about 300,000 in total. So average for a regional capital like this. Yeah, we've got a modern downtown, very convenient place to live. Also quite close to Japan's third largest theme park, or sort of most famous theme park. You have obviously Disneyland and Disney Sea being number one, USJ in Osaka, and then number 3 is Fuji-Q Highlands, which is right near Mount Fuji, as the name suggests. And this has a bunch of like world record holding roller coasters and, you know, just insanity. So have you been there, Daniel, before?
Of course, yeah. Like one time. And yeah, I went there. It was I love roller coasters, like high speed. But the thing is, like, can you like go back one?
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
This bottom left, I did not have the courage to do that. Like, that was like I was not in the mood for that. I thought like I did everything. Then we were like, let's go eat. And after that, after like we were kind of full, and I saw that I'm going to pass now. Like today is not my day for this. I like. This is like you're hanging in the air kind of, and you're just like spinning around. I've had that experience in like Vienna, like in Austria, and like, do you know like the park like there? And I with a thing called like Black Mamba. It was kind of like the same thing. It was kind of like the same thing. And you're like hanging like in the air and just like spinning. The whole thing is spinning, and the little where you are is like as well spinning like separately. And that was the one like the craziest thing. And I was like, okay, now I ate just now, I'm full, and but it's a very good experience. Like I had so much fun there. And there's like a Naruto village as well. There's like a Naruto village there.
Oh yeah.
If you don't know,
I'm a big chicken, so I haven't actually been in it. I'd need to, but all right. So let's move on. So Yamanashi Gakuin University, of which iCLA is a department, is a private, not-for-profit university founded after the Second World War. It has over 4,000 students enrolled, and iCLA has over 300 now. So we'll talk about our student makeup in a moment. Yamanashi Gakuin University is quite famous in Japan for the number of Olympians that have graduated from it. And we have a number of the Olympic coaches on staff as well. We also have departments in law, business, health, nutrition, and sports science, all taught in Japanese, whereas iCLA is taught in English. And you can see the iCLA building again in the photo there. We also have a postgrad school in social sciences, again, taught in Japanese. So really, we're here to talk about iCLA. We offer a Bachelor of International Liberal Arts. It is a 4-year degree. 74% of our students come from outside of Japan, and it's very multicultural. We have over 50 different nationalities represented, and obviously we even have Bulgarians as well. We have a very good student to faculty ratio, 7:1. So as I said, it's the kind of place where you'll be on a first name basis with your professors. And again, it's taught in English. Our minimum English language requirement is IELTS 6.0. We also take a lot of equivalents to that, like Duolingo, accept that. Minimum score is 95. TEFL, TOEIC, Cambridge, B2, etc. So we'll talk about that a bit later. So again, we have 6 majors that we offer: global business and economics, interdisciplinary art, interdisciplinary data science, Japan studies, political science, and psychology. In addition to the majors, there are a lot of electives and workshops in areas like sociology, quantitative reasoning, natural sciences, and martial arts. Currently, you must take at least one martial arts course to graduate. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And yeah, we also offer Japanese. You can study Japanese from complete beginner up to advanced level. Within each of our majors, there are academic pathways. So, you can focus on two of these or keep it broader. So yeah, for example, Daniel, in the global business and economics, what sort of courses are you focusing more on? Are you more interested in like finance or international business or some of the more economics classes?
Personally, I took the decision from my second semester, like in iCLA. I was back then like still online because of the COVID. I took like global business and economics, and you can choose two currents, one with business current, one with economics current. And I chose the business one, which emphasizes more on finance, like business, international business, and more about more about money, right? Economics is more about economics, and I don't have like that like big of an interest as in finance, in economics. Therefore, I took the business current, but at the same time, I took like different courses from different majors. And I think I'm very like what I was interested in, I could take it kind of.
Excellent. And what kind of electives have you been taking while you're doing the major?
While I was doing like the major, I was taking like classes from almost like I think from every major other than business. So let's say from political science, I did introduction to political science, I did international relations, introduction to public administration. Like from the arts, I did graphic design 1 and 2. From Japan studies, I've taken almost every Japanese language program, like the courses, as well as Japanese culture, society and culture, I think. I took Fuji culture, which is a brilliant workshop, actually. Psychology, I did like the introduction to psychology, I think. And from the data science, I did the like introduction to data science or like to computer science and Python programming. So I have quite like a variety of courses that I've taken. Of course, the global business and finance courses I've taken, like a lot of them. But I think I'm happy with what I chose as a as like a program, as a student program throughout the years. And yeah, like every student can do that as well.
I think that combination will put you in a really good position for your future career. And
let's hope so.
Please remember me when you're earning far more than I do currently. So.
Okay, don't worry. I will contact you.
Yeah, when
Daniel,
you're working
hello,
for a hedge
I'm a
fund.
millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I can let's go to like a 3 Michelin sushi like restaurant.
Oh, that sounds very good in Tokyo.
Yeah,
that
in Tokyo. Let's go.
So yeah, as Daniel was saying, there's a lot of sort of cultural workshops and classes you can take. Things like graphic design, things like calligraphy. I know you took that course as well. There's a lot of music and painting, sculpture. You can even learn a Japanese musical instrument like the koto, the shakuhachi. And you mentioned the Mount Fuji culture workshop. I believe in that one you go to the 5th station as part of that, or what? Can you tell us a bit about the Mount Fuji culture workshop?
So Fuji culture is a workshop which equals to 1 credit. It's not like the courses which are equal to 3 credits, and it's only offered in spring. Basically the whole workshop, it's not like the courses timetable, like the usual course like timetable, like let's say twice a week you have like this amount of like lectures. No, it was consisted of 3 road trips, and everything is from iCLA. It was actually like very cheap as for like transportation, for like private transportation with a whole bus, with the whole class and the teacher. And there's a little like textbook, and you learn about stuff. like the first road trip, you go to like different temples. I think we went to as well like a cave in Aokigahara, which is Aokigahara. Well, probably most people like know it as the suicide forest, I guess, in Japan. But another way of knowing it is actually like a really different forest because of the volcanic ground
it's very
and because
beautiful.
of it is actually very interesting. And because of like before, like in the history of like volcanic, like Mount Fuji eruption, the eruption went and like the magma went to the Aokigahara, and that's basically you can see like a little valley, how it's way different, like Aokigahara side and like just a normal forest side. So we saw that, we saw like stones from there, we saw the cave. We went into the cave, one of the caves, actually two caves, I think we went, and you're just going through like different shrines, and like for the first two trips you go around like Fuji, like different cities, different shrines, and you study about the Fujiko people, for the people who like 300 years, even more than that, they studied about Mount Fuji, and they actually um thought like Fuji is like a god to them. So like their god, their deity was like Fuji. So they were praying, and the pilgrimage of like Fuji. So yeah, it's very interesting. And on the third trip, road trip, you actually go and climb Mount Fuji from the fifth station, and from the fifth station up until like seventh station. It depends on the weather, of course. But I think still it's a good experience, like to just see how like to be on Mount Fuji. But of course, I recommend doing it from the bottom, or at least from to the top, from fifth station. I really recommend that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So
And yeah, that was like
mentioned,
the Fuji workshop. Yeah,
yeah,
I think that one of the best workshops in iCLA, I would say. I
awesome.
definitely recommend everyone to take this course, workshop.
Did you take one of the martial arts ones as well?
Yes, I took Aikido.
Aikido. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we offer that, and also judo and karate currently. So, and you must do at least one. As Daniel mentioned as well, we take we can do from complete beginner, even if you don't speak any Japanese, up to advanced level. So many of our students come and they get up to sort of N2, N1 level over the 4 years. We even have workshops you can take which will help you prepare for the Japanese language proficiency test, which is basically the IELTS for Japanese. And if you have N2 or N1, that's a great qualification to have. Employers like to see that sort of proof of your ability. In your third year, you can do study abroad. It's optional for international students, but you can do it for 1 or 2 semesters. And all the credits that you do at a partner university, and we have 70 partner universities at the moment, that all counts towards your graduation. So it's based on mutual tuition waiver. So it's a great way to see a third country at a very affordable rate, because you're paying iCLA's fees, which, as you'll see in a moment, are a lot cheaper than what it would cost you to study in the UK or the US or Australia, and much of Europe, where our partner universities are located. So here's some views from around our campus. It's a very sort of oshare, which is a Japanese word for stylish kind of building, built in 2015. As you can see, we have the sort of classrooms in the round, a lot of discussion there. We have accommodation on site, and we have a cafeteria serving 3 meals a day on class days. And here you are again. It's a great photo we took of you, Daniel, and in your dorm room. All students must live in our dorm for the first year in Japan. After that, you can stay, as Daniel have. You've been there for a couple of years now, haven't you? Sort of post-COVID, and
For 2.
for 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And you get your own room. There is a maximum of 8 students in the unit, because there's 8 rooms in each unit, and there's 3 units on each floor. So quite communal, really good way. I think you'd agree to meet people from all over the world and network and share some part-time job opportunities and things like that right from the get-go. There's shared bath and toilet facilities in each unit. But yeah, it's a single room accommodation. 3 people just for scale. We have a lot of clubs and societies you can join. There are over 90 different clubs and societies at iCLA. And Daniel, you even started one, a gaming club, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I started like, I think 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
I think so. And yeah, like it's one of the many clubs that iCLA, and you can as well join like YGU clubs, Nashigaki University's clubs, where you can be with your interest community and spend time with them. And yeah.
That's good, isn't it? And we have there's like a couple of festivals the university holds, like Tanabata. You can see some photos from that. And this in summer, a lot of students like to dress up in yukata, which is the Japanese sort of summer kimono. And we also have galas as well twice a year in winter and summer. It's a big social event for iCLA students. Here, just again to say, about cost of living before we talk about fees, but, living outside of Tokyo, the rent and the cost of living is much cheaper and definitely is cheaper than living in many other countries around the world. And again, yeah, just a comparison of tuition fees as well. Remembering that, as an international student, you're paying the same fees as the Japanese students. So currently, our fees you can see on screen. All Japanese universities have an enrollment fee. Ours is 200,000 yen. And our tuition facility and equipment fee is a little under 1.6 million yen per year, or 19.5. Is it lev? I got that right, didn't I? Lever. Okay. So, and yeah, importantly, our fees do not increase in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year. And no matter what major you end up doing, the fees are the same, as are the requirements. And you can see here, for a total of about 950,000 yen per year, you cover the room and the board. You can reduce these fees by applying for one of our academic merit scholarships. We have 4 tiers of that. We do not have a set GPA for each tier. Rather, we do a holistic review of your academic results, but also your extracurricular achievement, be that academic, sporting, volunteer work, etc. And finally, your financial need as well. The scholarship covers both the enrollment fee and the tuition facility and equipment fee. Japan, the Japanese government also has a very generous stipend. They pay to almost like 90, 95, 100% of international students for their first 6 months in Japan, if they start in September, or 1 year if you start in April. It's called the Giuse scholarship. That pays 48,000 yen per month for that time. And you can also work in Japan up to 28 hours per week, and you can help cover your living expenses that way. Applying to iCLA is very easy. You can do that online with Atlanta's assistance and their expertise. They've helped a few Bulgarian students come to iCLA now and get scholarships as well. We conduct a holistic review for scholarships and for applications. So we look at your grades, but also your motivation to come to iCLA. We look at your references. We look at your interview performance as well. Since the start of the pandemic, iCLA has been standardized test optional. So you do not need the SAT or ACT or other standardized university or otherwise university entrance exam. Rather, you need to have completed high school or be due to complete high school before the start of semester. So if you have a letter from your school saying when you are due to graduate, you can apply using that. And if you are not educated in English, you need English language result like the IELTS, but we take a huge number of different tests. So if in doubt, please ask. And importantly, you do not need to speak a word of Japanese. You can come here with nothing. We will sort that out once you're here. So no Japanese language requirement. Okay. We have 2 intakes every year, a September, which is fall, and April, which is our spring intake. And we are currently taking applications for September 2024. The deadline for that is April 15th. So you have just under a month left to apply if you are interested. Step 1 is to get in touch with ЕДЛАНТА and start the application. You do not need to mail anything to us. It's done completely online. It's very simple. So you just upload all your documents and write your motivation and scholarship essays. And then finally, pay the 7,000 yen application fee. Okay, so it's not very much to apply either. After that, you have an interview with 2 members of the faculty, and about 2 weeks after the 2 weeks to maximum a month after the interview, you will get the result. The result will let you know if your scholarship application was successful. So you'll know exactly what the fees are before you commit to accepting the offer. All right, and just to finish, and then we can take some questions, just want to talk about what you can do with this degree. We prepare you for the workforce by, having career design and internship opportunities throughout the degree. Did you do an internship while you were here so far, Daniel?
Actually, no.
No?
I
Okay.
think
You're in the
I think,
minority, actually.
yeah, I'm in the minority. I went to like a Tokyo Career Forum like last year,
Okay.
and like now I'm just like kind of doing, I don't know, like shukatsu, like job hunting.
Shukatsu, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm preparing myself for like applying for jobs now.
Yeah.
I actually like either this month or like the beginning of next month will be the application like processing. Yeah.
Is it busily applying to many different places? Yeah. So yeah, and as I said, we have JLPT, so get you up to N2, N1 level. There are workshops to help you do that. As Daniel was sort of alluding to, Japan has a culture of shukatsu, or job hunting. So starting from the 3rd year and extending into the 4th, students attend job fairs and seminars and apply to many jobs and hope to get a guarantee of employment straight from university. So go from university to employment, and that's sort of a big part of the Japanese culture. It's very easy for an employer to sponsor the visa of a foreign graduate, and you can keep living in Japan on those visas basically indefinitely. It's very easy for them to renew it. There's no limit on the number of years you can stay in Japan after you graduate. You just need a job. If you haven't found a job, there is a job hunting visa extension as well. Our graduates have gone into a really wide variety of careers, everything from working in banking and hedge funds. We've had students who recently work for Accenture, for Societe Generale, and work in equities. We've had students work for Activision Blizzard, Rakuten, Mitsubishi Fuso. Students work in NGOs, in government, as freelance artists, audio engineers, all kinds of things. So there's a really wide variety of career opportunities flowing from this degree, no matter what major you undertake. It's also a great springboard to postgraduate study as well. We even this year had a student who got offers from the London School of Economics and Oxford. She will be studying at Oxford to plan. So, and if you want to stay in Japan, there are both time and points-based paths to permanent residency. If you're interested, I like to tell people this, you know, how much do you think it costs to become a permanent resident of Japan? And Daniel, you'll have to do the conversion here into lever. It's about 8,000 yen.
100 lever. Like
I think
90
if you
to
tried
100.
to do that in Australia, it cost you about $7,000 Australian. You know, so yeah, and that's not the application fee. That's the fee you pay if your application was successful. To apply costs nothing. You just need to have lived here for 10 years and paid your taxes and not gone to jail. But yeah, so
Wait, wasn't it 5? Wasn't it 5 years of working? Like
so I think
like
you
for
can
the permanent address?
It depends, because you guys, like, you know, if you have the points, right? So you get extra points for having JLPT N2 or N1, for having graduated from a Japanese university, and some other points. And, you know, if you've, you know, published papers or something. But also the final thing is, how big is your salary? And, you know, with the jobs that we see people starting to get here, you know, I think you'd have the points. But
I see.
failing that, you just work for 10 years. Well, I said 4 years as a student, 6 years working, and then you can apply. Yeah. I mention this because I think it goes to show that Japan's immigration system is quite welcoming compared to most G20 and G7 nations. So, yeah. But yeah, at this point, I think we'll open it up to questions. Thank you for listening, and yeah.
Thank you to both Daniels. Now the floor is open to questions. Заповядайте да зададете въпросите си в чата. Ние с Антония ще ги превеждаме, ако са на български. Тони, има ли въпроси в чата?
В момента не. Ние нямаме много време, но все пак, ако някой иска, може да зададе един-два въпроса към нашите презентатори.
Да, ако в момента не се сещате, можете просто да се свържете с нас и да поискате консултация.
Да, споделих контактите тъкмо
Да,
в
аз
чата.
ще мога да ви отговоря на повечето въпроси. Или ако случайно не знам отговора, ще мога да се свържа с Даниел Гайс и да стигнем до отговора на въпросите. Does Mixed Finance the whole liberal arts? Не, Георги. Мекст е държавна институция и отпуска стипендии само за държавни университети. ИКЛА, Яманаши Гакуин, е частен университет и предлага свои собствени стипендии. Както господин Гайс спомена, те са няколко в размер на в 4 размера, всъщност 4 различни суми. Едната е 25%, другата е 50%, 75% и 100%. Като тези стипендии покриват не само съответните проценти от таксата за обучение, но и другите разходи, които са необходими да бъдат платени, като общежитие, храна и така нататък. Добре, както казах по-рано, ако в момента не се сещате за други въпроси, просто се свържете с нас и поискайте среща. Аз съм на среща, ще мога да ви отговоря на повечето въпроси и да ви разясня неяснотите, които имате. Разбира се, освен за ИКЛА, освен за този университет, ще мога да ви консултирам и за всички други японски университети, които предлагат програми на английски, така че сте добре дошли. Може би да попитаме нашите гости. Може ли да ни разкажете повече за интервюто? Okay, so Daniel, the question asked is, could you please tell us more about the interview?
Yeah, sure.
What kind of questions you ask?
Yeah, excellent. Excuse me. So the interview, the dean and the other professor that will take part, they are really trying to gauge your motivation for choosing iCLA. They're trying to get to know you, And, just, if you can talk about, what you want to study, they're going to ask you about that, what your motivation is, why Japan, why iCLA. They're really trying to gauge your English ability and your ability to, discuss and sort of debate ideas as well. It's a very, it's a very diverse, student body here. So, they're trying to, gauge how, open-minded you are and like how, how willing you are to sort of debate ideas with people. It's not a job interview. They're not looking for reasons to cut you. They just want to get to know you and, see, not just, are you a good fit for iCLA, but is iCLA a good fit for you? So, yeah, I hope that helps. They might ask you, if you say, I want to study business, they might ask you, so what's your understanding of some like economic concepts, but it's not, a deep dive into subject matter.
Basically, you're trying to get to know the person.
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing scary. Нищо страшно.
No, not too scary. Not too scary.
Okay, thank you. Do we have time for a couple more questions? No, not really.
We have 1 minute left.
Sorry.
No.
We went long. I apologize.
No
No
problem.
problem.
Okay, it
Yeah.
was a pleasure having you, and we look forward to working with you in the future. So thank you
Likewise.
once again for the presentation. Thank you to Daniel Simianov for sharing his personal experiences. That was very valuable. I hope it gave a good idea what to expect at iCLA. And to our audience, thank you for attending, and we hope to be able to help you apply if you're interested in studying at iCLA. Благодарим ви още веднъж за това, че се включихте в нашия вебинар. Ако се интересувате от кандидатстване за този колеж, този университет, ние сме на среща, ще можем да ви помогнем с целия процес. От събирането на документи, през подаването на документи, проследяване на кореспонденция до момента на записване. И разбира се, да повторя, че сме на среща и за други програми в други японски университети. Става дума за програми на английски. Ако имате интерес, заповядайте да се запишете за среща. Благодарим ви още веднъж. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Daniel and Danielle, for the interesting presentation and for sharing your experience. Благодаря на всички, които се включиха в днешния вебинар. Ще ви очакваме и на утрешния, и естествено за бъдещи събития и вебинари на ЕДЛАНТА. Както казахме с колегата, така на линия сме. Ако имате допълнителни въпроси, те със сигурност ще възникнат в някакъв етап така от подготовката ви, така че можете така да се свържете с нас на контактите, които пуснах в чат. Ще ви очакваме. Благодарим още веднъж. Thank you. И до скоро. Хубав ден ви желаем.
Thank you to Daniel. See you.
Thank you. See you in Japan.
See you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.